Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. We are here in Tokyo, Japan. Pretty bloody exciting. First morning, just smashed a 7-Eleven breakfast out. They are elite over here. If you ever come, make sure you get the egg sandwich. But yeah, we are going to be here for 10 days, traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto and Osaka, doing the three. And one of the number one things, I'm just here with the missus, but the number one thing is, we'll see how we go, is get into as many tackle shops as possible. So brought the new camera, little Osmo Pocket 3 DJI, purely just to do a bit of vlogging over here and show you guys what the tackle shops are like over here. They are renowned as some of the best tackle shops in the world. You know, the Japanese are the kings at making quality gear. Doesn't matter what it is to do with fishing or cars or anything, they're always the best. So yeah, I've always been fascinated by the bass swim bait scene over here in Japan and what they produce. It started many years ago, and with the brands of like DRT and that type of thing, I've been obsessed with it for many years. So it's really exciting to finally be here, and I'm really looking forward to going around and checking out a heap of different tackle stores. Anyway, this should be a pretty cool video. If you're planning on ever coming over here and you're a fisherman, you should get something out of it. Let's get into it. We're just waiting for the first tackleberry to open. Everything opens at 11 o'clock here. So we've got 10 minutes for our first tackle shop. Making our way to Fishing Joshua now, our second stop. Looks like it. Day 2 here in Japan. Already missing good coffee that Australia has. Just knocking one up now. It's definitely no oat cap on the east coast of Australia, that's for sure. But yesterday was a good day. We ended up going to 4 tackle shops. 2 tackleberries, 2 tackleberries, Fishing Joshua, and Sanzui, I think. I'm going to get a lot of these pronunciations wrong because I'm not very good at my Japanese sayings, but they were all okay, all here in Tokyo. As I said, I'm going to Kyoto and Osaka after this, which is more inland around Lake Biwa, which is where there's going to be a lot more freshwater gear targeted to the bass anglers, which I'm going to be more excited about looking at, obviously with the Murray cod and that type of stuff. But here in Tokyo, there's a lot more sea fishing stuff, so they've got their sea bass and different stuff like that. So a lot of the stores are sort of 50-50 or more lean on the saltwater side of stuff. But the first tackleberry in Shibuya was really good. Had a lot of secondhand stuff, a fair few swim baits and that type of thing. I didn't really get anything there, just a couple of different packs of plastics. And a little bit of terminal stuff. Then I went to Fishing Joshua. It was a bit bigger store, but it was probably 70% saltwater stuff. There was still a good freshwater range, but definitely not a lot of swim bait stuff there, more so that middle sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 inch stuff. You know, your everyday bass fishing. So it was all right. It was good to look at. I did get a few more things there, just again plastics and a bit of terminal, but nothing major. Then I went to Sanzui Part 2. It was by far the pick of them. Anyone that's looked into stuff over here would know that it's a pretty popular one here in Tokyo. A lot of the videos that I've watched on the area over here and a lot of the messages I got from on Instagram about tackle shops over here mentioned Sanzui, and it was definitely worth it. Cool little shop. There is 2 parts. So one part's a saltwater section, and then there's a completely different shop which is called Part 2, and it's the freshwater one. It's 2-story, both very small stories. The bottom story's all trout fishing stuff. It's very surprising how much trout fishing gear there is over here. It's absolutely chockers of trout fishing gear. Absolutely like tiny 20, 30 mil hard body lures that I've never seen before. Not that interested in it, so I'm not really going through it. But yeah, there's a lot of trout stuff. And then you walk upstairs and then you go into the sort of bass area, and it was cool. A couple of cool bass on the wall. They had a replica of the world record bass, largemouth bass that is. And yeah, just heaps of stuff, like a fair bit of DRT gear. They had ghosts, they had canines, tiny clashes. It's very different over here with the DRT stuff. You've got to go in a lot of the time you've got to go in you got to buy a ticket in a raffle to actually go on a draw to win a DRT lure, which is pretty crazy. Like, you just can't walk in and buy them. Or in other shops, you have to spend a certain amount on other tackle to have the opportunity to buy a DRT bait. So pretty crazy, you know. These days for us Aussies, we're lucky that we've got bait religion that's supplying DRT stuff, so I don't really need to come over here and really focus on DRT lures. You know, it's pretty much whenever bait religion does a drop, they've got a pretty good range of everything that they're going to have over here anyway. So if I do see some cool different colours or something that I've never seen before, I might try and buy them, but so far I've seen nothing DRT related that's out of the ordinary. But yeah, the range in that Sanzui shop was really good. A lot of different swim baits. Yeah, just a heap of different stuff. Really good look. I only got a couple of things, couple of Imaxu, Javelin, swim bait plastics, and that was about it actually. Just a couple of things. As I said at the start, I'm not really big on like buying a heap of swim bait, like hard body swim bait stuff over here. I'm more into buying, really lining up on terminal tackle and just stuff that I've never seen before. A lot of plastic stuff, I'd say, will be more my focus. After we left there, I called back into one more tackleberry. If people don't know what tackleberries are basically, they're fishing shops all around here. I think they're mainly around the Tokyo area. There's a lot of them. And they do a lot of second-hand gear, so a lot of people go in there and filter through the walls. It's just walls and walls of second-hand lures, and often you can pick up a fair few good deals on like swim baits and different lures that are basically brand new, but they're used and they're cheap as. I bought one. Yeah, I got the one in there. That's just a Depths bull shooter 160 SS, so just a slow sinking bull shooter. You know, they're going to go for over $100 in Australia, and that was 1,300 yen, so about $15 Australian. So it's like literally, it's a brand new lure. The bloke that did have it took it pretty serious because he's actually got some foam in between the joints of the lure, so soften that sound. And he's also got a little orange marker on the front there, so old mate that owned that bait before knew what he was doing. But yeah, it doesn't have a scratch on it, so that's a bit of an example of some of the stuff you can pick up. You know, there's so much in there, even some new like Jakko stuff like gantrels and Ganniers. They didn't have Ganniers, gantrels, douse swimmers, that type of stuff, like $25 Australian over here, so it is a lot cheaper. A lot of the lure stuff, I haven't really been paying much attention to sort of rods and reels because I don't really have the need to purchase any with my support from Daiwa, but yeah, I think they are a little bit cheaper as well, especially if you wanted to get some of that high-end stuff like Steezers and like cow cutters and the top end Shimano stuff as well. But yeah, it was a pretty good day. Today I'm going to finish this coffee, go back. We just actually stayed in that big building up behind me. Go up, get changed, and head back down through Shibuya. I really want to get to Village Door today, which is meant to be one of the premier bass spots, especially for boutique swim baits and that type of thing. So been really struggling to find it on Google Maps. That's one thing about here, is it is hard to navigate, but I think I've found out where it is now. So I've got it's about a 40-minute trip down south, a couple of train lines, a few train rides. The trains have been interesting, but good learning curve, and once you've done a couple you sort of get the hang of it. But yeah, we're going to head down in the day and check that shop right out. It should be really good. Right, I'm going to finish this coffee and we'll head off. This is the front of Village Door. So cool. Just in some accommodation now. I've blown a wheel on my suitcase, so it sounds like I'm driving a thumpster through everywhere we're going. It's a bit out there, but it's pretty funny. Village Door. Village Door was it was cool, boutique, as I said before I went, but it didn't have a lot. Like, had a heap of DRT stuff, a heap of K9s in all the new colours, a heap of Ghosts as well, and a lot of depth stuff and Gancraft, but that was about it. So their range wasn't big, but it was all good stuff. So it's cool to go and see old mate that owns the shop, works there. He was a cool dude. Didn't speak much English, but we got around it. Had a bit of a yarn to him. He has got some cool stuff sort of behind the shelf that's not for sale, some stuff that he collects and whatnot. He did have a few 8.6 swim baits in there, just smaller glides that did have for sale. He had a handful of them, about half a dozen. Awesome. But yeah, didn't worry about that. I just picked up a few packs of plastics again. Probably won't buy anything major till we get down to Kyoto, Osaka now. I don't know if I'll get to another one. Might get to another Tackleberry up here before I go down, but we'll see what happens. Just went into this shop here, by far the best one I've done so far. It's called Fishing 8. They're a little bit funny about me filming inside, so I didn't actually, I pulled the camera out and I put it back because they looked at me a bit funny, so, but that's how it is anyway. But by far the best shop. We're in the south side of Kyoto, only 3 stops down on a train from Kyoto station. Just unbelievable in there. I've been in there for 3 hours and I spent a heap of money. They had absolutely everything. Anything that I saw in Tokyo, they had it, plus they had a heap more. It's a 3-story building, just absolutely chock as a fishing gear, and a really, really good freshwater section with all the big brands like Depths, DRT, IMAXU, Jakko, like everything, and everything you could think of was in there, and it's just huge range. I was in heaven, eh? Like, I was just sat there, I was just like, looking at the walls for 3 hours. I nearly forgot to buy stuff. I had to go get a bin and just start loading up. If I didn't have a heap of swim baits at home, I could have easily spent thousands in there. I didn't actually buy that much in terms of what I could have bought. Like, if this was, I reckon if I was here last year, I would have spent 4 or 5 times as much money in there. They had that much cool stuff, but just these days with the DRT stuff, with the tiny clashes and K9s, I just don't see the need to buy a heap of other swim baits that like across all those big brands that they kind of serve all the same purpose. So it's just, yeah, it's hard for me to be like, oh, buy that, when every time I go down the river or even on the dams, I'm just pulling out a tiny clash or a K9. So that's a difficult thing. But yeah, if you're coming over here, make sure you put this spot, Fishing 8, on your bucket list. It's, yeah, not far out of the middle of Kyoto. I think it's open till 10 p.m. every night. So it's like 10 till 10, so 12 hours. Yeah, they were really good in there, really nice. But yeah, they looked at me funny when I pulled the camera out, so I put it straight back. But yeah, make sure you put that one on the list. That's the first shop I've been to now in Kyoto, and we've got 5 days between here and Osaka, so looking forward to see what else they got on offer. From what I've heard from you guys on the gram and whatnot, there's a lot of cool stores down this way, so should be really good. Anyway, on to the next one, eh? Righto, we're back on the hunt for more fishing tackle. I may have said earlier, a couple of days ago, that the tackleberries are only in Tokyo or around Tokyo area. I was wrong. In Kyoto now, and they're everywhere down here as well as Osaka. So it's got about a K walk to a tackleberry now. Go check that out, and then we're going to Fishing Max, the Sabo, which is also here in Kyoto. So Kyoto, I think that's how they say it. Anyway, it's good fun. Excited, went and seen a few temples and a few shrines this morning, which was pretty sick. Got a few Ks in the legs. Been doing a heap of Ks. Like I got a fresh set of New Balance 2002Rs they are. Putting some Ks, averaging about 20 to 25,000 steps a day, but it's good fun, good food, good time, good place over here. Absolutely loving it. See you at Tackleberry. Righto, not a bad little tackleberry, that one. Scored a baby riser jack, which is a DRT and Fish Arrow collab. There is a shitload of them available over here, but that one was $11, so cheap as chips. In pretty good nick, just need to put a tail on, which I've got plenty of at home. Righto, we're going to go get some food, and then we're going to go to this Fishing Max. Let's go.
いらっしゃいませ、こんにちは。はい。
Is it good? Out of 10?
They're big. No, they're pretty good.
They're all from different spots.
Okay. いらっしゃいませ、こんにちは。
请您在游览时避免边走边吃。
bit of an update. It's 2 days down the track after the last time I spoke to you, after that tackleberry. We ended up going to that Fish and Max in Kyoto, and it was, yeah, it's probably the worst one been to so far. Still a cool shop, and it was just around the corner from the Nishiki market, which was the food markets, which were unreal. So if you're going to go to those food markets, you may as well check the shop out. But it's the first shop that I've been to and haven't bought anything, and their swim bait range wasn't very good. They had a few things, but compared to every other shop, yeah, it's probably the least impressive. Then yesterday we come down here to Osaka, just at the deer park at the moment, and went to Bun Bun yesterday in
India.
Osaka, which was unbelievable. Apparently there's like, I don't know, 6 or 7 Bun Buns down here. Went to the one right in the middle of Osaka, next to Osaka Station. I think it's in the Lynx building. It was on the 7th floor, and it was probably better than the Fishing 8 in Kyoto. I spent about 3 hours in there and could have spent a lot longer. A lot of probably 50-50 saltwater, freshwater stuff. But yeah, the range of swim baits and yeah, all the freshwater stuff was just unbelievable. Also hit another tackleberry yesterday morning down here in Osaka, first one in Osaka, and it was pretty good too. Picked up a fair few things there as well, a couple of depth baits and a heap of unopened plastics that were heaps cheaper. One thing I've realised now is don't go into some of the shops selling new gear and just buy everything straight away. Take your time, because a lot of the tackleberries, you'll pick up stuff like heaps cheaper, especially plastics like Sakamata shads and that type of stuff that are used a lot over here. There's just packs and packs of them at the tackleberries. They're unopened, but technically they've been owned, so they're half the price or even less. So I'm picking up packs of plastics for $2-3 that are normally sort of 10. So that's a bit of a trick if you're coming down here. Don't just buy everything straight away. Take your time if you're going to go to a few tackle shops in a few different areas, especially down here at Kyoto and Osaka. But yeah, we're going to try and do another Bun Bun today, and there's another Fishing 8 down here, I believe, as well. So yeah, I bought a few more things at Bun Bun yesterday. One, I got a Elements Da Vinci 240 swim bait that I've been chasing for a while, and it was cheap. It was only $55 on special. I only had one left in a good colour, so I picked up that. And they did have a heap of Roman made baits, mother chasers, negotiators, and I almost bit the bullet, but they were about $350 to $400 each. So I didn't do it. But if I see the right negotiator at another Bun Bun in a good colour, I'm going to buy it. But the negotiators they had there, yes, they just weren't the colours I was looking for. The mothers was sick, but yeah, I just can't drop that cash at the moment. But we'll see what happens today and tomorrow. Keep going.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We on the hunt, baby. Let's go. Righto, I've just snuck away from the missus for a couple of hours and hit a couple of tackleberries. This one behind me, it's been the best by far. Unreal shop in there, and the one I went before was pretty good too, but this one here had some sick swim baits. Had like DRT jokers in there for about $50. Like the amount of depths and just every swim bait you can think of they had in there, and everything's cheap as. Scored a riser jack in Queen for $27.50, so $30 Australian, brand new, unreal. Another Elements Da Vinci in a smaller size, $30. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The last 2 tackleberries have been unreal. I got to say, after going to a fair few tackle shops now, just spending the time to go around all the tackleberries is probably the way to go, because everything is just so much cheaper in there. Even new lures that they've got in there are cheaper than like your big chain stores like your Bun Buns and that here. Although those stores are like really, really cool to go to if you're after bargains, and you're looking to do a bit of hunting around. Going to these tackleberries, it's just unreal fun. I'm having an absolute ball just hopping on trains, cruising around, going to each one of these tackleberries and seeing what I can find. And each time you walk in there, you don't know what you're going to find. So that's the best thing about it. You never know what you're going to find. You could score the best deal of your life type thing. So it's been a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to have to go back now and get the missus and have a few beers and a feed. We've blown the budget by a fair bit. Back at the airport now, heading out. Got up at 4 a.m. It's about 6:30 now, flight in an hour. Yesterday, final day of tackle hunting down in Osaka. Started off going to a Bun Bun. I wanted to have a look at the Roman made stuff. They did have a couple of mothers there, but again, over $400 Australian, so I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Did pick up a second-hand Joker. They had a few second-hand things at this Bun Bun. Another Joker. It was only $50, so I had to do it. New one, and it's a silent model as well. So all the Jokers I've got in stock at home are all rattles. This one is a silent version, so I had to get it. Cool colour. It'll be a good one to have in the kit. That was the second Bun Bun. The Bun Buns are unreal. Definitely recommend the Bun Buns. Went to 2 in Osaka. I think there's a handful down there. There's a couple in Kyoto as well. I don't know if there's any up here at Tokyo or anywhere else, but definitely if you're going to Osaka, Kyoto, make sure you go to Bun Bun. And also Fish and 8 that I went to the other day, it was unbelievable as well. But just so much gear, like new gear. If you're into buying new gear, go there and have a look around. Just look for the sales. There's so many sales on stuff. Just don't look. It's like classic retail. Don't look where your eyes are. Look down low and you'll find the good specials. Then went to another tackleberry. This one was a little bit further out. It was no good actually. The place just stunk of cigarettes. And it didn't have anything that really caught my eye at all. So that's probably one to avoid, but that's the thing with tackleberries. There might be nothing in there at the moment, but then in 6 months it might be loaded with cool stuff. Went back to the motel, had a bit of a lay down, got up and we're going to go for dinner. I said to the missus I might go to one more tackleberry, just one more before dinner. So had a look. There was one at the end of a train line down the middle of nowhere, so I was like, it wasn't going to be too hard to get to, about half an hour. So I jumped on the train, went down there, and as I walked in, they've always got like the second-hand part, and they've also got a new part to it. Seen the second-hand stuff over on the left, and I thought, I'll just go have a look at some rods and some reels over here real quick. And as I was heading down, I caught a K9 out of the left of my eye, so a second-hand one, so I knew there was going to be some good stuff down there. Had a quick look at the other stuff, then I made my way over, slowly working down to the swimbaits. And sure enough, it was a bit of a jackpot, this tackleberry to end the trip. Picked up a Roman-made Mutai, I think they say. I think they're pronounced. It's not a very well-known swim bait, but it's one that's been on my radar for a long time. Never thought I'd actually find one or own one. They're a $500 plus lure over in the US. There wouldn't be too many of them kicking around in Australia, that's for sure. Roman-made lures, they're all handmade. I think it's a single-man operation, to be honest. And as I said earlier, I was tracking down a Roman-made mother or something like that, and it just so happens I found an even better bait in a profile that I really like. It's more of a carpy shad profile than a trout profile that the mothers are. It's a really sick bait, and I'm looking forward to using it. It's again wooden floating glide bait. Going to have a bit of a goal to catch a big Murray cod on that this winter. It was a bit over $200 Australian, so well over half price. It is used, but it's barely got any hook rash or anything on it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Old mate in the shop, he didn't speak any English, didn't know what the bait was or anything. I was trying to quiz him on what it was. I knew what it was straight away, but just to see if he knew. He had no idea. It was a bit hard trying to get information on him because I did find another bait there that I'm chasing an ID on at the moment. It's another wooden swim bait. It was, I had to get it. It was only $20, so I'm just looking for an idea on that on Swimbait Underground at the moment. I'll probably put it up on the screen if I do find out what it is. And then I picked up, what else? Madness Bellum 300, another Depths, Bull Shooter. Yeah, it was a pretty sick shop. Blew the budget right out. I wasn't planning on spending any more money, but yeah, you can't let opportunities like that just pass you by. So filled up the bags. I've got my suitcases half full of fishing tackle. I've blown a wheel on it. Sounds like I'm driving a Kawasaki 450 through the airport. But yeah, it's been unreal. Loved it over here. Japan's it's a special place. Everyone's really nice. Food's unreal, and if you're into fishing, the tackle shops are great fun. We'll be definitely coming back. Gonna have to come over here to go to the snow. Also I could just come over and do the tackle shops again. Play golf. There's so many things to do over here. And of course I've got to go fishing over here. Missed a few opportunities there. I had an opportunity to head to the DRT head factory, but just times didn't align with the location and stuff, so I'm definitely going to have to come back and go over that. Would like to go to a couple of fishing shows over here. They have a couple of big fishing shows, so that could be in the works one day. And yeah, just come over and go trophy bass fishing on Lake Beaver. That'd be sick. Anyway, it's been a sick trip. Make sure you check out the next video. The next video will be going through every single lure that I bought over here, why I bought them, and the total expenditure. I think I ended up going to 15 tackle shops in total, 8 of them which were Tackleberry. So yeah, good haul. Anyway, it's been an unreal trip. Thanks to the missus for setting it all up. I didn't really do anything. She worked everything out and I just tagged along and went to fishing shops. Cheers for watching. See you in the next one.